Thank you for joining us for our latest webinar brought to you today in partnership with our friends at AvidXchange. Today, we've got a little bit of thought leadership to share with our audience of accounts payable and finance professionals. The source of our analysis is the 2023 AP Professional Career Satisfaction Survey, a joint effort of the Institute of Finance Management and AvidXchange. With over 450 respondents, this large class of AP professionals is a great statistical benchmark for the state of AP. We're going to boil all those survey results down to what we believe are the 9 most important factors driving the modern AP professional role. My name is Craig Cook. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Business Solution Partners, and I'll be your host. In just a few minutes, I'll make a formal introduction to our speaker today from AvidXchange, Solution Consultant Ty Stubbs. Before we go there, let's take a minute to go over today's agenda. We're at the top right now doing introductions, and then we're going to dive into the current state of accounts payable before looking at those 9 numbers that define the modern AP professional. Following that, we're going to take a look at how AP automation works with AvidXchange before opening the floor to your questions. Now it's my pleasure to introduce today's topic and speaker. Our leader for this discussion is Ty Stubbs, Solution Consultant for AvidXchange. A graduate of Lehigh University, Ty has a long history with Avid, working his way up from a payments operation interns to the implementation team. His most recent role as a solution consultant has him engaging in technical discovery calls with prospects, as well as delivering demos and webinars like this one.
Thank you, Craig, for the great introduction. And with that, we'll get right to today's content. The day-to-day life of an accounts payable professional has changed dramatically in recent years. To better understand the driving motivations behind AP burnout, employee engagement, and overall job satisfaction, earlier this year, we partnered with the Institute of Finance and Management on our 2nd annual AP Professional Career Satisfaction Survey. We heard from 461 respondents about the current state of accounts payable, career satisfaction, what motivates them, and how their companies can keep them engaged and happy. And I'm pleased to quickly recap the results today. I'm sure it's no surprise to any of you, but the current state of accounts payable is busy. AP professionals are returning to the office and working long hours. Astonishingly, only 4% of those surveyed said their AP department is fully automated. And with that, the work volume is not slowing down, where 31% of respondents say they work 45 plus hours per week. Those long hours and heavy workloads mean, of course, AP professionals are going to look for jobs with the highest salaries and best benefits. But the happiest AP professionals we surveyed place a high value on workplace culture, ranking things like flexible work hours, the ability to grow their skill set, and the overall mission of the company as more important than even a hybrid or remote working arrangement. Our survey revealed 9 numbers that define the modern AP professional. Let's see if you all agree. First, despite current economic uncertainty, including layoffs and a predicted recession, unemployment rates in the labor market remain strong and AP pros appear to be optimistic. 78% of those surveyed said they weren't worried about layoffs in their department this year, and only 14% said they were impacted by layoffs last year. Just in case, 43% said they are doing nothing to prepare for layoffs, while 36% are learning new skills, and 32% of those surveys are updating their resume. Next, AP professionals are increasingly satisfied with their jobs. Of those surveyed, 51% of those AP professionals are either very or extremely satisfied in their current role. Unsurprisingly, the more automation an AP professional has, the more satisfied they are in their careers. Number 3, a lack of tools correlates with decreased connection with a business. Out of respondents, 81% rated mission or purpose of organization as moderately to extremely important when considering a job opportunity, while only 20% of AP professionals without any automation feel extremely connected to the mission and purpose of their organization. Number 4, AP professionals appear unable to step away from the job. Anybody relate? According to survey results, only 22% of you used your PTO balance in 2022. This is something I hear a lot when demoing for prospects as something they're trying to solve for, maximizing their time, processing AP within their business, and even freeing up some of their representatives to work on more strategic initiatives within the business. And in that, 83% of our sample size with fully automated systems agree that they have a healthy work-life balance. So automation can definitely help with a healthier work-life balance with your team. Number 5, professionals are developing their skills in hopes of keeping work, finding work, or advancing, also known as career cushioning. So this fifth discovery from our survey is that finance professionals value skills development and the opportunity to work on more strategic initiatives. To retain top talent, companies must offer opportunities for growth. 84% of our respondents said that learning or skills development opportunities was moderately to extremely important when considering a job opportunity. But the numbers that stood out to me are the two 33% stats listed. Only 33% of the survey said they felt there are opportunities to grow their careers within their current organization. That means those organizations are going to have a hard time retaining talent, like I mentioned earlier. Meanwhile, if you looked at the impact automation has on the ability to work strategically, 33% of those with fully automated systems versus 3% of those with little to no automation say they work on strategic initiatives that lead to career growth. With automation, that's an 11 times increase. Number 6, reporting and analytics. The majority of people we surveyed say they're now tasked with producing more detailed reporting and analyzing data. But only 44% say they have the tools needed to access the analytics they need to make strategic decisions. When you add automation into the mix, you see those numbers jump. 76% of AP professionals with fully automated systems have access to the tools they need to effectively build reports and present data. Number 7, perception of leadership. AP professionals largely believe in their businesses and leadership. 7 in 10 are confident in the stability and future of their organizations and believe their supervisors value their contributions. To me, our findings here were not a huge shock based on what we discovered about the ability to work strategically. 29% of those with manual systems felt that their current boss does not value their contributions to the team. Has to be a terrible feeling. But on the flip side, every single respondent with fully automated systems in place reported feeling that their direct supervisor not only values their contributions, but also their career development. Number 8, perception of automation technology. AP professionals welcome automation technology, and over 70% believe adding it would have an immediate positive impact on their current roles. I've been at AvidXchange for over 5 years, and when I first started speaking with prospective AvidXchange customers, one of the biggest hesitations I would hear was that if I automate processes, I'm essentially automating myself out of a job. I'm hearing that much less frequently now that the AP automation space has grown to where it is today, just as our survey shows. I think most people have embraced the work smarter, not harder mentality. I know I certainly have, and we certainly have adopted that mindset at AvidXchange. And last but not least, number 9, the heart of what we do at AvidXchange, AP automation. Now, I dare you to find an accounts payable professional out there who wants to drag their work out as long as they can and have it riddled with mistakes and have to do everything all over again, void payments, void invoices, whatever have you. No way. AP professionals are looking to save time and reduce errors, and that is exactly what AP automation solves for companies. Our survey respondents backed that theory up. Nearly half, 49%, of the respondents said they would be unlikely to consider a job opportunity at an organization that did not have automation tools in place. Now that you know how AP professionals feel about automation, let me tell you a little bit about who AvidXchange is and what AP automation with us looks like. At AvidXchange, we believe there's a better way for businesses to make payments, eliminating the endless piles of paper so many AP departments find themselves buried in. That's why we set out from Charlotte, North Carolina in the year 2000 with a simple mission in mind: transform the way companies pay their bills. In that time, we've earned the trust of more than 965,000 businesses in our supplier network, processing more than $180 billion in invoices and payments in the last year alone. We have integrations with over 225 leading accounting systems. We've grown quite a bit since we started out 23 years ago, continuously expanding our team, our footprint, and our capabilities to deliver an industry-leading AP automation solution that helps almost 9,000 North American companies cut costs, improve visibility, and increase efficiencies. As you can see here, many notable companies trust us to help them with their AP processing. We've become one of the fastest growing technology companies in the US because we've made their business our business, and we want to do the same for you. Over the years, thousands of finance professionals have shared with us things like, help me simplify my AP process, help me have greater visibility to know how my AP process is performing. I need an AP solution that will scale with my business. I need better control over my AP process. Over the years, we've become much better at listening to this feedback and making sure that we apply this to our business to make sure we're solving all of these pain points for our customer base. I'll spend the next few minutes describing at a high level AvidXchange's AP solution, while also helping you differentiate Avid from the myriad of other providers in this space. Put quite simply, what separates us is that we do more of the work for you. So with that, we have a unique approach designed around partnership with you. Right from implementation, we're partnering with you to make sure that we're implementing our solutions, whether the invoice solution or the payment solution, as efficiently as possible, so that way your team could still perform their daily duties, all while setting up this system and making this change to their processes. The Avid invoice solution takes 6 to 8 weeks to implement, while the payment solution is happening simultaneously in most cases and takes 2 to 4 weeks to implement. For the invoice solution, AvidXchange will handle ingestion, capture, and verification of invoices, along with two-way and three-way PO matching, and even has solutions for automatic coding. On the payment side, we have our supplier services team, along with a robust supplier portal to service your vendor base. And as far as using us in tandem with NetSuite, we have an embedded domestic and international payment solution. So that way you can make payments directly in NetSuite, but still tell AvidXchange to pay for you. We also have industry-leading rebates. So with AvidXchange, some other things that you get are unlimited users, highly customizable workflows, and regulatory compliance and controls. Invoice ingestion includes receiving the invoice, digitizing if necessary, capturing the relevant data, and verifying that it is correct. Most AP automation solutions include OCR technology, but you continue to receive the invoices, use the OCR, and validate and correct the data captured yourselves. At AvidXchange, we do that for you and find that we are 99.9% accurate in doing so versus OCR technology that competitors have being around 85% accurate. A complete set of supplier-focused services for you. So we increase rebates for you. We have a supplier payment profile, an active e-payment conversion to make sure that we're maximizing your rebates. We manage supplier inquiries and check aging services to make sure that we're giving you a full service offering in terms of processing payments with us. In terms of compliance, we have ongoing OFAC screening, as well as positive pay processing for fraud detection. We also have our money transmitter license in all 50 states and utilize the money services business account to make payments from. We also have live phone support and remittance communication services. And to give you an idea, about a third of our company's headcount is dedicated solely to vendor payment processing. So the economic impact of automating accounts payable. So before automation, what we found was that the total cost of the AP process is a little over $22. AvidXchange is able, after automation, to process those payments and invoices for a little less than $9. In terms of efficiency, we're able to 100% eliminate paper, and we offer workflow management and controls to make payment processes seamless. We also offer automation of controls throughout the entire process that manages your approvals. And we are able to eliminate 100% of payment fraud because of our payment process. We're also able to cut down on time and labor, as entire invoice processing takes 2 to 3 days. So in total, you're looking at $13 in savings per transaction for invoices and payments. So here's a clear and quantifiable return on investment. So this example is going to be based on a customer that has 1,000 invoice, 1,000 payments, and 2 AP staff. This company's total savings per month would be almost $14,000. And in terms of man hours, you would save 160 hours per month. Another return on investment point, as I mentioned earlier with our supplier services team, we are invested in converting your suppliers to e-payments, which means more money in your pocket in the form of rebates. So you can earn rebates on virtual credit cards, our enhanced direct deposit offering, which we call AvidPay Direct, and with proactive supplier campaigns to ePay, where we'll do supplier sign-up drives, supplier call campaigns, digital outreach, and direct mailers. The final thing I will add is that our payment solution is built for NetSuite within NetSuite. We've partnered with NetSuite for around 16 years now, and we allow you in NetSuite to make payments to your suppliers without ever having to leave NetSuite. Most of our competitors, well, all of our competitors in this space cannot say this, meaning that if you are automating your AP with anyone else, you will be working from 2 systems. So something to think about as you are scoping out AP automation and what it may look like for your company. And here's just a screenshot of what the module looks like in NetSuite. You have the ability to have invoices post within NetSuite directly from our system, where you would log your approvals in AvidXchange, and they would integrate over to NetSuite to post for you. The payments option is directly embedded into NetSuite. And I want to also make the point that we do have domestic and international payments available to make through our bundle in NetSuite. I've just scratched the surface of what we do at AvidXchange, but this is what our timeline could look like. If you are interested in seeing what we can do for you, go through each step. I would love the chance to do a personal demo with each of you once we know what your specific pain points are. If you're interested, please indicate that on the survey that will be shared soon, or you can shoot us a chat or let your BSP rep know, and we will get you scheduled. If we know that your request for a demo came from this webinar, either live or on demand, we'd like to offer you a $100 MasterCard e-gift card once you complete a full demo of our solution with an AP professional. So be sure to mention that. And Craig, I'll turn it back to you for Q&A.
We do have a question that came in. Are there any limitations on the number of users for AP software?
Great question. There is not a limitation. And to that point, with your workflows or approval processes, as well, we call them workflows, but approval processes, we would build those to your business rules, and those could have as many dependencies as you want. So I used to be in implementation. There was a situation in particular where one workflow step had 40 different dependencies that we had to teach the system to look at. And it took a little bit, but we were able to build that and make sure that it ran smoothly for that customer. So a lot of capabilities there as far as making sure that all of your approvals get to the right people, but also making sure that all users that you need are captured within the AvidXchange system.
Yeah, that's right. So no matter the size of your team, it's a scalable solution, whether it's got to be approved by one person in the chain or multiple. Yeah, absolutely. That's
Yep,
great. There's no limit on the number of seats that you get with the system, right?
correct.
We got another question. Can you process international payments?
Yes, we can. Those payments do need to be sourced from a US bank account, but we're able to, as a part of our suite app within NetSuite, we're able to convert those payments to Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, a few other currencies. I don't know them off the top of my head, but we're able to pay via a good amount of currencies there within NetSuite.
Awesome. And we know that AvidXchange is a built for NetSuite solution. It's tightly integrated. But on the licensing side of the equation, is there any special licensing you need? Is there any tier that you need in NetSuite, or is anybody who's on NetSuite eligible to work with AvidXchange?
Yeah, great question. So there is some backend setup that does need to happen with us, right, with AvidXchange. But as far as limitations on making sure that we get set up within that suite, there isn't a limitation. It's going to be a suite app that's available for you to download after we give you the correct permissions internally. And it's just a quick download like you would download any other suite app.
Great bundle installation, and then I'm sure the implementation is pretty rapid, right?
Oh yeah, very very quick and painless. We've done this hundreds of times at this point, so um, there's not much that we haven't run into yet. So
Awesome. Just a reminder again, any more questions, throw them in that Q&A. We're ready to answer them. I got a couple more queued up for you here. Um, this is an interesting question. Can you make payments to individuals or my company's employees?
yes, we can make payments to both individuals and employees. With employees, there will be a um, a criteria that we have to follow of making sure that we can get them ACH payments through our network. With individuals themselves, we will pay them and we will make sure that we just send them a check whenever you process those payments through our network.
Great. So I can get contractors, 1099s. I can work with kind of anybody and be sure to pay them. No worries.
Absolutely.
How are disputes handled? And specifically, how is disputing an invoice handled?
Great question. So there's a way within the AvidXchange site directly to dispute an invoice or hold an invoice. Reaching out to vendors for disputes or any issues concerning your invoice would still happen, but AvidXchange allows you to put those to the side and notate that within the system to let the rest of your AP team know that hey, this invoice is going to be on hold. We need to get more information. You would also be able to leave comments on an invoice to let your team know that as well.
Right. The last question, I don't know if we're going to get into pricing so much on a webinar, right? Because we're going to have conversations with anybody who's really interested. But this is talk about the AvidPay network specifically. When
Absolutely.
using AvidPay, is there a per transaction fee, or is it just a connection to your bank? Like there's a little confusion around that.
Absolutely. So we will be connected to your bank, right? And the way it works with us having an MSB account is you would those payments would be funded from your bank account. They would be sent to our MSB account to pay from. So reconciling for you would be as easy as referencing ACH debits to AvidXchange on your bank statement and using that, checking that across NetSuite, which we're able to do because that check number will be notated on those ACH debits on your bank account. Now, as far as the charge for payments, when they're sent. There is a $9 transaction fee for each payment that you send within the network. And for invoices, I think it's going to be $1.50, something like that. And the rest of the pricing, I wouldn't get into because it just varies.
Excellent. I keep saying it's going to be the last question, but more keep rolling in. So you were just mentioned reconciling. This next question goes along with that really nicely. What happens if you pay by check and the vendor doesn't cash it?
Great question. So AvidXchange's vendor services will follow up with that vendor as we monitor it and see that it doesn't clear. You would also get updates within NetSuite of the status of payments, whether it's processing or cleared. And as they clear, you would get proof of payment documents uploaded directly into NetSuite to open up. Now, if those payments get to 90 days and have gone through our follow-up cadence, we would simply, if they haven't been cleared, haven't been cashed, then we would simply refund your bank account for that payment amount from that original debit that we put on your bank statement when it was first processed. So you would simply just get a refund, and from there you would be able to decide if you want to void or reissue.
Excellent. Excellent. And that's going to do it for us today. From everybody here at BSP, our friends at AvidXchange, thanks for your time today, and we look forward to seeing you in the near future. Have a great rest of your day.